Welcome to Live from the Lake, a weekly podcast where this estranged cast of characters gets together. We just find random people on the streets and bring them together and try and have as interesting of a conversation as we can. Mostly rooted in music or adjacent topics, but sometimes we veer pretty far from music and talk about, Easter or Peeps. My name is Jeremy.
Okay.
I'm Jen.
I'm your host and former fourth grade trumpeter, Mason.
And I am Noah, the one behind the scenes.
Thank God you're there. Does anybody have anything they're interested in starting off today? I hear nothing.
I have a little thing, but not like a major thing.
I was thinking we could talk about Shel Silverstein.
That was gonna be the default. If we weren't going, if nobody had anything brilliant, I think we should just start it off with Shel Silverstein. So I'm gonna set the stage. We were driving somewhere. Where were we going?
We were going to the game.
We're going to the Hawks game, and Shel Silverstein came up. Shel Silverstein came up on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. I had stumbled across the fact that he had written not only Boy Named Sue, but also 25 Steps to Go, which I thought was a pretty big departure from
25 minutes.
Oh, sorry, 25 minutes, right, to go. Pretty far departure from, where the sidewalk ends, and pretty dark. And so we were driving in the car, and Shel came up, and then I asked the question.
The Giving Tree, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, The Giving Tree. Best book ever.
A Light in the Attic.
Oh, my God, so loving. Oh, Shel, you have misleaded us. You have misleaded us in a big way.
Yeah.
Shel has two sides to him. I think we learned when we
Yeah,
put on the
apparently.
Spotify playlist. When you pull up Shel Silverstein on Spotify, it's number 2 is The Little Blue Engine. Number 3 is Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too. Right? Sidewalk Ends. He reads those things live. Number one with 1.7 million hits is I Got Stoned and I Missed It.
These are Spotify numbers, by the way.
These are Spotify numbers. I Got Stoned and I Missed It is his number 1 hit. And what we did is we simply played that record, right? And that record
Brought
is
some gems.
absolutely insane. It's called
Doozy.
It's called Freaking at the Freaker's Ball. It's the we listened to the expanded edition that starts off with Thumbsucker, which I think was your favorite one. Is that right, Noah?
I liked it.
You liked
I don't know.
you liked Thumbsucker?
I don't like to pick favorites. I think that
Yeah.
generally there were a lot of gems.
Oh, it was
I
all
like a
good.
record with so many gems you can't pick a favorite. And I feel like
Cohesive,
this was pretty good,
I liked Polly and a Porny.
of course.
Polly
a family
in
fave.
Polly in a Porny. I thought that one was pretty good.
As well as, what was the other one? What was the other one I
Stacey
liked?
Brown's Got Two.
Oh, no.
Stacey
I did
Brown's
like
Got
Stacey
Two
Brown's
was
Got
really
Two.
good.
Stacey's a man, and he has 2 penises, I think is what Shel was
That's the
Alluding
implication.
to.
alluding to. He didn't actually say it.
But that's
I
the
think he meant it.
implication. Strong implication.
Everybody
The thing
got
is,
one.
If you're a person that appreciates
Brown's
music
Got
Stacey
Two.
has 2.
and you know anything
Um,
about Shel Silverstein, you have to at least appreciate that you're taking somebody who's clearly like a very gifted wordsmith
Oh, yes.
and then applying that to music, which is just craziness, it turns out.
Don't give a dose to the one you love most.
Oh,
that one was pretty
really
good.
That was a nice one.
I also liked Masochistic Baby.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the other one.
Masochistic Baby. That one was pretty good, too.
Pretty chaotic.
I
This album was.
I cannot express deeply enough. I want to see these Spotify numbers go up. That's what I want to see. I think that Shel Silverstein's Freaking at the Freaker's Ball is something that absolutely everybody should listen to, especially those of us that grew up reading The Giving Tree, The Lighted in the Attic, and Where the Sidewalk Ends. Can we all agree?
I know
on that?
many of those
Yeah.
poems that I could literally recite to you right now, and I haven't read that book since
I
they were
want.
little.
I want to
Can you
see.
please recite one right now?
I want to see that.
Oh, the best one. I used to know the whole thing, but I don't anymore. But the best one was sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a rash, a gash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. I have a sliver in my thumb. My knee pains each time it rains. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And then at the end, she says, "What? What is that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye. I'm going out to play." I had to.
Your
say
brain
that when it's full.
never ceases to amaze me.
Mine.
Yeah, that was
it's
kind
pretty
of
crazy
insane,
that you know
actually.
that.
It's just chock full of things that nobody needs to remember.
I don't think that's true. I think that it's chock full of like super interesting things, and that your memory is just sick. You just remember everything.
Okay, so Shel Silverstein's got like the kids' poems and the.
And then the
Crazy
dirty limericks
songs.
for adults.
So I want to see Raffi put out some like just,
Just-
absurd
You
poems.
want Raffi to answer to that?
Just some crazy poems.
It's the Barney, porno buster record is coming out. Like
Steve,
No,
I heard
poems,
Steve from
poems,
Blues
poem
Clues has
books.
a rap album that's just ready to, slit throats.
Who?
Steve from
I would
Blues
think
Clues.
that he
Oh,
should.
yeah.
I would
He
think
should
that he
drop it.
should.
He apparently asked the American
Coach is
public
not
if
happy
everybody's
with
okay
something.
this week, and people were not happy to hear from him.
I heard that. What's he worried about?
There's some scandals happening.
Oh, Nickelodeon got themselves into some water that's lukewarm to
Ugly.
scalding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty bad.
And being a former employee of
Let's-
Nickelodeon,
Yeah, let's.
Steve just thought he'd reach out to the American public, and people literally were like, "Where were you when we needed you? Get away from us, Steve." I was like, "Oh, Steve, not well received."
Bad rap. Oh, he's fired up.
Coach is on the move.
Fired up.
There must be a goose outside or something. I'm not sure what, but he's
I feel like he's trying to get the other dogs for backup. I'm not sure.
We should probably get eyes
It'll
on the big
cease.
one.
He'll move on.
Little do we
So
know,
Shel-
the SWAT team's just about to come through the door. And
We're gonna
he's
get
the first-
diddied.
Yeah,
We're about to get
Ed
diddy.
is mauling a federal agent in the front
As we
lawn.
speak.
It's hard because they kind of we get desensitized. Like they would react exactly the same to the mailman as they would to like an actual like,
Burglar?
problem.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
A man with a bomb in our driveway is getting the same response as the Amazon driver.
Or he could just seem like a cool guy and no barks needed. You know,
He could be cool.
Well,
So, anyway,
Coach, are you gonna calm down, man?
he's chill now. Shel Silverstein, Chicago native. Also,
Crazy.
apparently a lover of Key West, which we also
Died in
enjoy.
Key West.
Died in Key West.
I think he died in Key West. Yeah. Shel Silverstein. Thank God for Boy Named Sue. Thank God for the other
Agreed.
799 songs that he wrote. Most notably, Polly is a porny, or
Polly in a porny.
Polly in a porny. and don't dose the one you love most.
Well,
Oh,
and
man.
I got stoned.
You
and I
you
missed it.
mentioned Easter earlier, and I'm wondering if that's not the record we should play
Hell,
during dinner.
Yeah.
I think we should consider it. There's another one that I heard this week, and this I have to describe it because I don't think I can play it. But there's this song. It's by Chet Atkins, but it's not like the Chet Atkins you would expect to see or that you know and love. You know, the fine guitar picker. In fact, I think Chet Atkins is the one that plays the lick for one of the insurance companies that we all know. Badass guitar player, absolutely sick. He made a video for kids, and I think his root cause there was to spread love of the instrument, right, of the guitar. And so he wrote this song, and he's got a video, and he's playing it with all these beautiful children. It looks very holy or church-like.
Okay.
The kind
Southern.
of production of this video. The song is called Intunzia. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Oh, well,
Tunzia's a
it's
country?
basically you just play each string of the guitar open without any left hand 2 times, and then you proceed backwards. So E, B, G, D, A, E. And and then there's a really bad drum machine on it, and they do that together, and then they sing this song together, which is when the moon shines at night, it will shed a lovely light in Tunisia. And it's beautiful, and I think everybody should check it out. It was literally one of the most bizarre things I've seen in a really, really long time. And it had like chant vibes to it. It was definitely it was just uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable watching the video.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I like that you've encouraged everybody else to get a little uncomfortable. I think it's good to get uncomfortable once in a while. Experience something
that's
that's
a
a
little
little
weird.
out of your box, because that's like
Little
a
sun
good
raw.
thing, you know.
Yeah. Of course it's a good thing. You can't advance in life without doing things that are uncomfortable. And actually, the more uncomfortable things you do, the better off you'll be. And how many times you get nervous and freak out about something that you have to do that you are uncomfortable with, and then you do it and you feel such a sense of pride and relief that you actually stepped outside of the box, took a step into a direction that was a little bit unknown, and then you get through it. And pretty much 100% of the time, it's okay.
That's very true.
Isn't that nice?
It's amazing.
It's a
Makes me
beautiful
wanna
thing.
jump in the lake.
We are jumping in the lake. We are jumping in the lake on Sunday. We're having a big
Supposedly.
family party for a holiday,
It's gonna be
and
cold.
we are going to go swimming in the probably 50-degree weather, or 50-degree lake. That's my guess.
No way. The lake,
Colder.
50 degrees.
You think it's colder? 45?
I don't think. Yeah. No, I think it's. I would bet that the best guess would be like average the temperature.
say like
of
46.
2 weeks ago, like that week.
So 42.
Yeah.
It
No,
could be
it's gonna
cold.
be cold.
What was it when we jumped in? When did we jump last? November?
Thanksgiving.
I don't.
I think it was 42.
I think it was
in
42.
the 40s.
It was cold, yeah.
I don't remember.
So for
41,
anybody
but-
that's not sitting in this room, to catch everyone up real quick.
Cold is cold, man.
We live on a lake. We have a dock, and last year was our first turn hosting Thanksgiving in this house, and somebody came up with this brilliant idea to do a polar plunge, and so it's just sort of stuck with us. We did it again at Thanksgiving this year. Oh no! Last year Easter was
Yeah,
the first
no,
one,
it's
and then we did it at
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving,
we do
and now
Thanksgiving
we're
and
doing it
Easter.
again.
then Thanksgiving.
But you know,
and
we live in northern
probably the
Illinois,
third.
so it's not warm. The high on Sunday, I believe, is supposed to be 48 degrees and sunny, and the water should be, about the same temperature.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, but I highly encourage people to jump into cold water. I mean, there's all the love that everybody's talking about, the ice water kind of challenges or ice water baths and how invigorating it is, and cold showers and things along those lines. And, the polar plunge or the jumping in cold water is honestly the most invigorating thing ever.
It makes me really nervous.
It's one of those things that makes you a little uncomfortable. You've never done it.
No.
You've never done it.
You want to know why?
You should, yeah, because you have to.
No, well, there's reasons, because I'm always cooking dinner and whatever else. But there's another reason that I actually thought about it
Because
yesterday.
you're cold all the time.
No, it's because one time when I was a kid, and we went to the pool. So when I was a kid, I went with my aunt and my cousin to a pool in Chicago, and it was a public park district pool, and it wasn't heated. And it was like a huge, I remember it being a huge production to wait in line to get in. And then we had to go through the locker room and change our clothes. And then we went out to the pool and we got all set up. We were all ready to get in the pool, and the water was cold. And this kid went running across the cement deck area of the pool, jumped in and shit himself. And then everybody had to get out of the pool, and they had to drain the pool and clean the pool. So we didn't even get to swim. Maybe we had our feet in the water at the time. I don't know. But in my head, I'm like, okay, so if I jump in the lake and shit myself in front of the whole family, what would happen then? That would be terrible.
I totally misunderstood what you were thinking. So you think that the cold water is why that
It's
happened with
yeah,
that boy? He
no.
just was so excited that
I think it shocked his system, and he shit
sphincter?
himself because he was so cold.
All right, well,
I don't.
You don't think
know
that could
about
happen?
I think
Well,
and
also,
all
we're all
for
expecting
all the
cold
amazing
ice
things
water.
that your brain is capable of doing. Sometimes you're
You know
just
what,
a
Mom?
little. You're a
Jumping
little
into
nuts.
cold water is supposed
Every
to make
yin
you
has its
uncomfortable.
yang.
Shitting yourself while jumping into cold water.
Will certainly make me uncomfortable.
With
It's doing the
36 of
job.
your closest
family members.
Yeah, man, that's the way to do it. If you're gonna do it big. Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
If it
The
goes
year
well, I
that
might
Jen
No,
shit
no.
herself.
Let's
The
move
lake
on
during
from
the
that.
summertime,
I
too.
don't
I
really
don't
think
know.
about that at all.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on.
Are we?
You said we had to.
No. I'm just,
I got a quick tidbit.
All right.
All right.
I saw today. Well, we like Fish. Fish is a band of ours. You got bullshit.
No, of course, Fish is. Yeah,
Fish is.
I've been seeing Fish for 31 years.
So there was just. I don't think it is an actual possibility, but one of the members, I believe, of Guerilla Toss, the band, shared a picture, and the caption was like, some like new supergroup ? Announced ? It was some
What?
dorky thing, and it was people in Guerilla Toss and Trey and ready.
Hold on. Is instrument. Singer? Trey, and who would be the singer? Okay.
Stephen Malkmus.
Oh, shit.
Who's Stephen Malkmus?
Pavement.
Oh, shit.
That could be cool. If it's
That could be
real.
cool.
I don't know how much
Whoa.
Gorilla Toss you've listened
Yeah,
to, too.
no, that would be sick. That would be super cool. You just totally reminded me. I took a screenshot of this, but I saw something insane this week, which was you guys are gonna have to help me because I don't have the memory that Mom does. But the Gorillaz song that Trey covers, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
That groove.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
I
the
love
whole
that
song,
groove.
Basically,
What?
the whole
That song is that groove.
That groove
I love that groove.
is
The Suzuki-
rock preset number 1 from the Suzuki Omnichord, which is an instrument that looks kind of like an auto harp, but it's just all buttons and volume and tone knobs.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
it's an auto harp, and then it is basic. Oh, excuse me. It's an auto harp with like a metallic strip that you can swipe your finger on. That's like
yes.
what the strings are.
You
play
could can
low,
you
play
maybe you
high.
could post a picture of the
Yeah, we'll put some-
of the
I think they
Omnichord.
make a couple different kinds. I don't know if they all work the same way, but I've played one.
Well,
They're
they
great.
literally this video that I saw, it was on one of the it was he was like, "Oh yeah, no, dude, this is rock number 1." Like
It's
that's
the
what he
bass line
that's
and
what
the
he took.
drums and the key groove.
It's got the
everything.
drums and the dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's all there. I was absolutely shocked at that.
That's interesting.
Hilarious.
It's so awesome. Like, how
That's
cool is
great.
that? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, no, that's sick.
I would love
I
if
love
Trey
that.
did something with Stephen Malkmus. I think that would be
There's
insane.
A similar one with the intro to In the Air Tonight before the real drums is just a really slowed down like Roland drum machine. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
very beginning isn't real drums. It's a, it's,
Yeah, I
and
do.
it's-
I know
it's
exactly
super
what that
slow.
is.
It's some like disco preset or something. It's like, oh yeah, it's just
Way slowed down.
boom.
Here we go. I got another one. Bruce Hornsby, The Way It Is, drum machine
Yeah.
from the demo. So like he sat down to record the first recording of that song in order to show everybody what the song is. He used a drum machine in order to do it, and the drum machine stuck, and they kept it. I think they re-recorded the other pieces,
Wow.
but the drum machine is there.
Neat.
That's interesting.
That's awesome too.
And then I could just keep going on this. I can just keep jiving
So you
here.
know what this means is this might have to be a new bit, which also means we got to come up with a name for it.
Well,
But,
this is like the connector. So think about like the rope toe or something like that, or like, whatever.
It has to be something with the like.
Well, I was thinking rope.
I was going from the musical aspect first and thinking like what
Oh no, I'm flipping it to something else. But you said something that triggered another, which is speeding things up and slowing things down.
Oh yeah, all right.
There's this crazy guy. I am a he, HEE on Instagram, and he put out this thing. He took a recording of whales talking, and you guys know how whales sound, right? When it's that like
And we've
very
figured out some of that like this
Yeah,
year
like
or last
Dory,
year, right?
right?
Isn't that like a big development we've made?
when we
Oh, yeah,
were
the way that they,
yes, like while
Yeah.
we were whale watching, we
We were
were
talking
reading
about
about that. There was a couple of things that happened, but yes, they actually had the first like real interaction with a whale.
In what they think is
In
like
whale
a whale
language.
language.
Or maybe it's brainwage or whatever. This is freaky though. It's not. It's cool. Check it out.
language.
Check it. This dude took a recording of whales talking and sped it up to where it was moving a lot quicker, and it was like it moved it up like 3 octaves. And when you listen to it, it sounds like birds. And then just to kind of double down on the weird kind of matrixy kind of thing, he took a recording of birds and slowed it way down, and it sounds
like
just like whales.
That's super weird.
And don't they say that whales were birds?
Well, I don't know about birds.
I
but
think it was birds.
Whales are mammals, which means that they were.
I know what mammals are.
Right, but the conclusion I'm getting at isn't that means that they have breasts. It's
He's doing that from that show last night. We were watching a show last night, and the guy would say, like, well, it's precarious. And the other guy would go, well, like, what do you mean? And he'd be like, well, unsure, unclear.
It's like, I know what precarious
means. I know what precarious means. I'm saying, why is it precarious? Like,
Gotcha.
That's why he did that. That was
but
funny.
My point was that they're mammals, which means that they were like part of the line of they were in
Yeah, they were
the
land
sea,
animals
they
that
came
made it
land.
into the water.
But I don't know if they were birds or not.
I don't know why, but like in my inside, in my brain, in my like ancient history, in the old file cabinets, I believe there was a connection to birds. I'm not sure though.
While we're in this subject, I will throw out a fact that I think I've already said on the podcast, but is just awesome every time I think about it, which is that sharks are older than trees. That's just nuts.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
Sharks have existed for longer than the idea of a tree in the wild. Pretty cool.
That's insane.
But yeah, the whale thing is cool too. I think that there's maybe something to do with just how like birds and whales both have like a very like pure, almost like a sine wave, like, you know, sound to them. The like characteristic of the noise that they make is fairly like pure in terms of its like tone, right?
Yeah.
I haven't like studied specifically.
It's all
these
just
animal
like
noises,
frequencies and
well,
you know.
yeah, but my point is that like if you were to play like a pure sine tone, that's very like that doesn't naturally occur in nature necessarily, but there are a lot of things that produce very like pure tones like that. Like if you strike a bell and it's ringing out, that's a very like like it's a focused specific frequency that's ringing, right? Whereas like a cymbal crash is a whole bunch of different frequencies interacting in a bunch of different ways. So like whales and birds, they're in a similar characteristic of being a very round, pure tone that's like moving up and down in a like almost like singing fashion. If you get what I'm saying, there's no,
like a whistle.
Yeah, sure. A whistle is a great other example of just like a pure, like single frequency tone would be, you know, in its purest form would be a sine wave, but, you know, more natural occurring sounds like that. I can see that would be something that, yeah. I think that probably means, yeah, totally. Am I right?
What did you check it out?
I did check it out.
Did they come from birds? No, they came
No.
from freaking elephants or hippopotami.
No, weird. They came from
Geckos.
this is interesting. No, they came
They
from
came
an animal
Oh, an animal that we don't know.
called Pacacetus,
Oh, good.
a goat-sized, four-legged creature that scientists recognize as one of the first cetaceans, group of marine animals that includes
Pachyderms.
dolphins and whales.
Dolphins and whales. All right, well, not birds.
Pachyderms.
Too bad.
The modern-day cetaceans are pigs, cows, camels, giraffes, and hippos. So
Sick.
like a hooved animal.
Gotcha.
Hey, so I sneezed twice there.
Bless you.
Bless you, man.
Oh, thanks.
I didn't even hear you. You did it so quietly.
You have
You sneeze like
headphones
me.
on.
So we have the data, put out a graph, and I'm going to describe the graph. It was 8th graders and 10th graders, and it was from 1991 to 2020. And it was the percentage of 8th and 10th graders who like doing dangerous things.
From 1991 to 2020, 8 and 10 or 8 through 10?
8th and 10th, two different lines.
Okay.
The 8th graders were a little wimpier than the 10th graders. The 10th graders like to gamble a little bit more and do more dangerous stuff.
They're more infinite in high
but
school.
I thought it was super interesting. The highest was, I think, the 10th graders in 1994 or 5. It was hard to line it up. It was one of
Which
those
would
years.
have been my year.
52% like to do dangerous things.
Fuck yeah.
47% 8th graders at that year. And then 2020 down significantly from a high of 52-47 down to 39-35.
Am I being put on trial here?
No, but I think it's interesting, and I think it's
I saw something really gross the other day that I think is true and applicable to this situation, which is that parents have started protecting their children from outside, but there's no protection for the children in like the cyber world.
Right. That's a good point. So kids are just less risky. I used to do crazy stuff. I remember doing some crazy stuff. Like I remember my friend Patrick, when I was a little kid, like I don't know, like 4th grade, 3rd grade, you know. Ed's here.
Given a
I
great
remember
shot
he
to the camera.
had this house with this enormous porch he had this huge front porch, and it was tall. It was like, 8 feet off the ground or something. I shouldn't say that. The floor of the porch was not 8 feet off of the ground, but then there was a handrail above that. So in order for us to jump off of it, we were jumping from 8 foot, and we he had like a couple recliners or whatever out there. We'd take the pillows, throw them to the bottom, and then just jump off of the the porch.
Sure.
But we were like little. It was a big jump, and that would be
Like elementary school little?
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, I was little. I used to do that, and that's just one little example. But kids these days aren't doing dangerous stuff anymore, and I wonder how that's going to impact the future generations.
There's
Listen,
cameras
there's
everywhere,
a dangerous and then there's dangerous,
and even
right?
if there's
And-
not a camera, someone's got a cell phone.
well,
And if you're doing something stupid or something
so
that
you
gets
mean-
you in
that's
the thing.
trouble, they got to either someone's like, "Oh, I got to document it because it's going to be funny," or "I'm going to document it because it's dumb and I'm going to post it."
right, well,
and
see,
it'll
but
get
that's
attention
I think
or
that's
it'll
the
get you in
problem right
trouble.
there.
I don't like
Opposite
you
end
or
of it,
whatever.
Which is the internet is like forever,
But
Yeah.
but that's the problem. So, like I said, there's stupid things and then there's stupid things, or risky things and then risky things. Danger, but some of it is
Nope.
rite of passage being a kid.
No. I'm a clarification statement. U.S. 8th and 10th graders who like doing dangerous things or taking risks. So cameras is a reason that they don't do it, but that wouldn't change your answer when asked the question, do you like to do dangerous things? The answer would be yes, but I don't do them as often as I want to because I'm afraid I'm going to get caught or get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people just don't
That
like
makes
to live
sense.
dangerously anymore.
No, nobody's living on the edge. I think maybe the Aerosmith song just shut down all
killed it.
fun for kids, and now the kids don't have fun anymore, and you guys are destined for a boring ass future.
I guess
I'm
so.
sorry.
All right.
Helicopter parents win.
Yeah.
Fun loses.
Can't wait
Lame.
to do it to my kids.
Yep.
Well, I think with
It's all right.
most
Your
things,
kids will have us, thank
it's
God.
an ebb and a flow. So, so the helicopter kids are going to be like, God, it sucked growing up with my parents all up in my business.
Of course.
So now I'm going to just rebel, and I'm not going to watch my kids at all.
I'm
Kinda,
sorry. Do either of you honestly really feel like we were helicopter parents?
Oh, no.
I'm not.
I don't think
making that
we were
claim.
helicopter
No,
parents.
no.
I
but
would fucking hope not.
no, I think that we were not. But I do think that they're, like, generationally speaking,
It's helicopter parents.
it's
around
helicopter
here.
parent
and-
season for sure.
Even if you're not like over my shoulder, like your decision making process with what was acceptable and at what age certain things were acceptable with your kids was probably on average a little later for pretty much everything in terms of like then generations passed in terms of we were
Totally.
being left home alone at a later age than you probably were. We were
Yeah.
held responsible enough to go to the store or something like that.
Or like go ride your
I
bike
wasn't
around
left
the
home
town
alone.
and not
Like,
come
there
home
were-
until dark.
I was home alone at 8.
Yeah, I wasn't left home alone until I was like 12. I don't
7.
think.
I think 7 I was home alone.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I think that this is a super duper interesting topic because there's been so many variables that have played into this, but the world has changed. Like from when I was young until where we are now, I think that the information age has definitely had an impact on things. I think knowing and seeing the amount of bad shit that happens in the world, like
not
how
good
can
for
that not
anyone.
impact you as a parent? Like it has to.
Yeah.
Well, and they say that it's not really any different. It's not like
it's
there's any
statistically-
more murderers than there were before, but we know about every murder now, so it feels like there's just murder
it's
happening.
statistically
everywhere.
safer than it's ever been.
Right.
But it doesn't
But we
feel that
hear
way
it
because
all
when
the time.
when in the 90s, like you didn't hear about any of this stuff, and now you hear about every single one of them, and you turn on the news and it's one thing after another after another.
Well,
and
we get the
especially
news much faster now.
Well,
Everything is quick.
I know,
we
but-
all knew what happened in Baltimore 5 minutes after it happened.
right. But you're absolutely right. The point is it's things that does impact things, and that does create, for sure that is going to impact how parents parent and the amount of freedoms that they're going to be able to that they're going to give their kids and at what age they're going to be able to extend those freedoms. So that's true. But I think there's also a difference between like there's still a deep variation between like the most neurotic parents and the loosest parents with regards to parenting, even in this age. I think holistically overall, it's gotten tighter and there's more concern. But I still think that like I wouldn't call what we, our style of parenting helicopter parenting. But it was tighter than the parenting. Dude, my parents weren't even home. My parents were divorced. My mom lived, out in Wakanda, and my dad was working and gone like all the time. In the summers, like I was just a free person, like free. And then we had payphones, and he had a calling card.
We had a
And
calling card.
That
too.
was like the worst because I was such a shitty son because he'd be like, I'd leave, and then he'd be like, okay, man, like,
A calling card was basically like a credit card that you could use at a payphone, and so you would dial this. You would pick up the phone,
you dial like
your
a
phone number, and then you put
300
in like
numbers.
a 300 number code that you had to,
And then it would pass the bill through to your
Phone
home
bill.
phone. So, but regardless, so we had the calling card, and he'd be like, just call, and I'd be like, okay, Dad, and then I'd never
Guess who
ever
would
call,
never call?
and then he'd get so pissed at me. But yeah, I can't even
I
imagine.
gave my calling card number to a friend of mine who
Oh,
then gave it to a friend of theirs who then literally, not kidding you, we got a fucking $300 calling card bill. My parents went through the roof. They were so pissed at me. It was great.
Oh man,
That's so sick.
Super good times. The 90s. Who knew?
Interesting.
don't you wish we had calling cards?
Instead
at
of
all.
being able to track you on your phone.
That's the other kind of
maybe,
funny
yeah,
part about the whole
honestly.
thing is that we can like
Yeah,
see.
you can just track our asses.
Right. No, we can see where you are. We can call you at any time. We always know like you can't hide. Like I could be like, "Hey Dad, I'm going to stay at my buddy's sister's downtown, or I'm going to stay at my buddy's like 3 blocks away." And he'd be like, "All right." And I could leave and I could drive as far as we could drive, and we could go do whatever the hell we wanted to do. As long as I was back by 11 or 12 the following day, I could totally get away with that.
Right. Well, but talk
So
about,
like I'm talking like I went to Indy and saw a show last night and then drove back in the morning.
Dad
and
thinks I was
Dad
at
thought I
Bob's.
slept at, my buddy Billy's.
Right. Well, and that era's equivalent of a helicopter parent would have had to check the odometer or something. You know
Check
what I
the
mean?
odometer,
Like,
call Billy's parents,
yeah.
which that stuff did happen from time to time.
with the squares.
Mom got busted. Mom got busted when she was like 19 years old when she and I were dating, or maybe 18 years old when she and I were dating, because they were like, I was like off limits. We have like a real Romeo and Juliet story. And they were like, no, Jeremy. And so she was like, yes, Jeremy. And and
Hell yeah,
and so she was like, yeah, I'm sleeping at my friend's house. And then
Totally got
they were
nailed.
like, okay. And then the friend called looking for mom, and she got busted. And then they grounded
You
her.
know, that
And then they
to be
grounded her
honest, that
when
was,
she was 18 years old.
It was
Or 19 years old. Did you have a kid? Did we
no,
already have
yes,
Noah?
we already had Noah.
We already had.
This was later.
Noah
And
already
to be
existed,
honest,
and she got grounded.
In my own,
That's
to,
so
if we're going to be
ridiculous.
100% honest, it was my own fault for many reasons.
Of course it was. You shouldn't have lied.
Well, of course, but
Told the friend to cover for it.
well,
Yeah,
and
you
beyond
should have called
that,
her.
But this is the problem. This is where I wasn't thinking. When I was a kid, when I was in high school, before I had a Jeremy or a Noah, I had my own phone line. No one ever called my parents.
Yeah.
So when this happened, 4 years after I've stopped living at home and I'm in town visiting, and I don't think to call my friends and say, hey, don't call the house. I'm going out because I'm 20 years old. Yes, I shouldn't have lied. Bottom line. Shouldn't have lied.
Oh, well. I thought that one was pretty funny. I still laugh about it from time to time, every time I think about it, actually.
You know what? I should have just had you come pick me up because the problem was that I wanted the car.
Whatever.
I don't know. Okay. Water under the bridge.
Water
Here we
under-
are.
This,
We've
though.
been married for
Water
many
under
years.
the bridge.
Everyone gets along now. My parents are no longer shunning Jeremy.
They got over it.
Love you.
Okay. Can I tell you something random that I read today?
Yes, please.
Yes, go. Go ahead.
Bob Dylan has an opinion. Not kidding. Bob Dylan has an opinion of which is the most beautiful Rolling Stones record or song, that's ever been studio recorded.
Wild horses.
That's what I was going to say. Nope. It's record. Are we talking record or are we talking
A song.
Angie?
No.
She's a rainbow.
She's a rainbow. I
Dead Flowers.
saw the Steel Wheels tour. I got so lucky. I worked for a band and a really cool dude, and he had a friend who was a recording engineer and was amazing and did a real lot of work, including with the Rolling Stones. And he was there to do the truck recording of the show. And it might have been an XRT thing, like a radio thing, or it may not have. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. But there was a backstage pass, and I got it, and I still have it. It's in that cool thing that we were looking at in the garage today, that hutch thing. Anyhow, so I got one Rolling Stones pass, and so I drove down. They were playing at Soldier Field. It was the Steel Wheels tour.
I think I know this story, and it is a great story. If that's
And
what I'm thinking.
I was, it was amazing. I got to pull my shitty Volvo into the players parking lot kind of a thing, pull right in, really cool, walk up, walk in. I'm literally standing on the side of the stage, and the Stones play a show. I'm standing with this girl the entire show. And we were just, yeah, wow, I love this one. Yay. Just normal, whatever. And then 3/4 of the way through the show, her dad calls her out on stage, it was Keith Richards' daughter, who actually has a podcast and is I don't know. I've seen her around.
Tag her.
Huh?
Tag her.
Yeah, we should tag her. Anyway,
old
so
picture of
so
you.
I was like, oh my God, that's freaking Keith Richards' daughter. That's an experience that you don't have every day. And then I also simultaneously at that same show, I had a friend
Yep.
whose
I knew this. This is great.
whose boyfriend, now husband, worked for Jam, the production company, who I ran into back there. I was like, are you kidding me? This girl I've known my whole life. And she's like, yeah, we're just doing this, that. They were setting up the dressing rooms and stuff. And she's like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? And I was like, nothing. What's up? And she's like, well, Prince is playing a secret show at the Aragon. and like, we can go. Do you want to go? And I was like, yes, I want to go. And then so the Stone show parlayed into the Secret Aragon show,
Prince, yeah,
where I got to see Prince, the one and only time I got to see Prince. And that was an unbelievably good show. That band was sick, like tight. Unbelievably good. And I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Oh, the Night of the Steel Wheels show, that they were doing like this new internet thing, and it was vote for the one song that you all want to hear.
Gotcha.
And it was She's Your Rainbow. She's a Rainbow.
Cool. But that's not Bob Dylan's
But that's not Bob Dylan's
So
favorite.
what's Bob Dylan's favorite?
Not favorite. Most beautiful.
Most beautiful.
Beautiful.
Most beautiful.
It's not Dead Flowers?
song.
Salt of the Earth.
No. I was actually kind of shocked.
Street
Paint It
Fighting
Black.
Man.
No.
Miss You.
Nope.
Dancing in the Street.
Nope.
Honky Tonk
Nope.
Woman. Brown Sugar.
Nope.
How long are we going to do this?
I'll give you the answer whenever you want it.
Angie.
I said that already.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Sympathy
you
for the
fucking
Devil?
Tell
Nope.
us. Tell us.
Paint It Black.
I already said Paint It Black.
All right, what is it?
Ruby Tuesday.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
I can't believe nobody guessed Ruby Tuesday. I was
hell?
like,
Kinda
I can't believe
crazy,
it.
yeah.
I'm actually excited. That took way longer than I
Ruby.
thought.
Do
Do you know
guys
what's
to get
cool with the
excited about.
Rolling Stones is, like, for me, my experience with the Rolling Stones was I always knew who the Rolling Stones were, but when I was probably in like 5th grade, I got a record player in my room, and I don't know what, I don't know what grade I was in. I was young, but I got a record player in my room, and then I was grabbing records, and that was my first really like big. I was like listening to all the Led Zeppelin records and listening to the Rolling Stones records, listening to the Beatles records, the Bob Dylan records, the Kinks records.
Dude, the vinyl is so
But I
good.
remember so vividly like
Feeling that?
hearing that and feeling that for the first time, and knowing, I knew that it was important, but it's like, that it's important, but experiencing that like that way was like a feeling that I will never forget. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Ruby Tuesday was just one of those songs. I was like, holy shit.
It's a great
This
song.
is amazing. It's an amazing song. And you know what? It is a beautiful song. And if I would have thought of it, I would have said it, because I could totally see why Bob Dylan thinks that.
It's a beautiful song.
I read something similar about Neil Young talking about rap.
Oh, I heard this too.
And he was like, dude, rap is where it's at. He's like, this is the new way. This is how people are communicating now. And he was like, fuck you if you don't like rap. Like, seriously, he was not screwing around. Like, he was not mincing his words. He
Neil.
was like, no, this is important.
You know what?
It's
Neil
kinda
has
funny.
always been
That's
a
dope.
forward thinker.
Neil's a cool dude.
Neil's
He,
awesome.
he is. I can see why he
I
thinks
think
that
he's
way.
maybe a little crabby.
I liked his. I was going to call
Maybe.
it begrudging return to Spotify letter
Yeah,
when he was basically like, "All right, all the other places are he left because he was unhappy with the misinformation."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, every other streaming place on that I'm put my stuff up on puts out the same crap, so I guess I'll come back to."
Well, I think it was like,
Spotify."
Joe Rogan's on this, so I'm not going to be on this. Like, there's a lot of people that have hard lines over things like that, and
Right. But
I know
he was
it's
like,
yeah.
All right, well,
He was like,
everyone
"Well,
else
fuck
is
you, but I'm
sharing
coming
that
back
information
anyway."
Too, so I guess I'll come back. And
sounded-
I love it.
He made some kind of dig too that was like, if only he was like yelling at Spotify because they haven't done the like. I guess they're working on like quality, like higher quality.
Well,
streaming.
Neil like developed and
Yeah.
paid for and was
Yeah.
promoting
File
and trying
types
to
and-
get, what was it called?
File types of like.
Well, no, he had like yes, he was endorsing the higher bit or the sample rate or whatever what do you call that? Like,
higher sample rate.
yeah, so instead of an MP3, there's an MP4, but then there's another one that's way fatter
yeah.
that Neil was trying to like, he was trying to get everybody at the exact moment that decision was being made. Like
Go
Like,
for the fatter
it's-
file.
with
It's
the
interesting.
with the products, with like the iPods were coming out
Yeah.
and all of that, and he was like, "No, not MP3. Like, make it
FLAC.
5 times as big, and it will sound better." And you know,
I
I don't know
remember
if
him
he's down
freaking
with
out about
FLAC
that.
or not. FLAC is one of them, fully lossless audio codec.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. People go to certain degrees of like what like at the top level, the guy that's spending $30,000 on his amplifier and buying $1,000
Yeah.
gold coated cabling for his speakers, like
right,
there's a diminishing returns aspect to all of it, and
yes,
if we started the digital music revolution by having each song be 10 gigabytes, we would never have gotten it off the ground. And when you can, fit 50,000 songs in,
right.
a
No,
pocket.
I know.
You know what I
We made that
Trade-offs.
sacrifice. We made that sacrifice, and
Trade-offs.
Neil's still pissed about it.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because Neil is a good guy in my book. I think there's a lot to be thankful to Neil for. Number one,
I agree.
all the music. Oh my gosh, all the music.
So
So
much
many
music.
good songs. So much good music. But then, like, solid father, like, gives a shit about his
No,
kids.
Sorry.
Big time. The railroad enthusiast. Big,
Lionel.
yeah, Lionel. He's big stock. Yeah, he owns a lot of stock in Lionel. He doesn't own the company. I did some research on this not that long ago. I thought he owned the company. I think he's like one of the biggest shareholders.
Conductor Neil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he also invented like some parts for it so that disabled kids can play with trains and like by like just pushing a button kind of a thing.
Yeah.
He did some sound stuff for them. And then there was actually another company that he was involved with that was owned by Lionel. Anyway,
The big thing was
quality.
like the single button push control.
Neil is cool. He also was big in like the alternative fuel stuff, and he was like building cars that ran on like Crisco oil and shit like that. Dude, the guy's just cool. Like he's just a cool dude.
Yeah, he's interesting for sure.
Coming out on the road.
Yeah, he's playing. I know. I think we were talking about it last week. I wish I don't think he's like touring the country. I think he's
Doing a few
playing a
shows.
I think he's doing a few
selectively.
shows.
Be in our area.
He's coming here.
I think so.
Oh,
All
I
right,
would
if
love
he's
to
coming
see
here,
him.
I'll go see him.
That'd be dope.
Go Neil Young. Go Neil Young. You are the man.
I'll ask him to make a stop.
Well, we could have him just come play for the podcast. We could just do a solo acoustic thing here. We have the
Just a
pump
little
organ
swapping.
upstairs. He likes those. Hey, it's good to see you over there. It's nice to be seen. For free. You can like us on YouTube. We'd prefer if you did. You can subscribe to our channel. We'd like it if you did that. You can follow us on Spotify if you're so inclined. And you can leave us a review on JobsPod, otherwise known as Apple Podcast. I got a couple from my boy Cody that are I've been kind of collecting that are interesting. So Zach De La Roca.
Rocha.
Well, he said Roca. I always thought it was Rocha. I think it's actually Roca, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Went to high school with Will Ferrell.
Sick.
It's kind of weird.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I guess that might make sense.
It's an interesting thing, and it's interesting to think about in the context of we know that Tom Morello went to school with the dude from Tool as well, and had a big hand in
Adam Jones.
in actually getting Tool, and then Adam moved out to L.A. and then he moved out to L.A. and then by the and then
It was,
I think
oh hey, Maynard James.
you should meet these other people, and I think Tom Morello had a lot to do with Tool. So that was an interesting one. How about this one? Jimmy Johnson from the Dallas Cowboys head coach. You guys know him?
Yeah.
He's
Got the white hair.
he's on every Sunday.
Yeah.
He's a big time NFL dude.
Yeah.
He went to school with high school with Janis Joplin.
Wow.
Isn't
Two
that
JJs
weird?
too. They were probably
Jimmy Johnson
on the
and Janis
same
Joplin.
yearbook page.
Just nuts.
If they were in the same.
That is
year,
crazy.
that is-
That's crazy.
That's super weird.
Hey,
David Hasselhoff was roommates at Cal Arts with Paul Rubin, who is Pee Wee Herman. That's another weird one.
David Hasselhoff
The Hoff.
and Pee Wee
The
Herman.
Hoff.
You know who the Hoff is, right?
Yeah, I know the Hoff.
Yeah.
Baywatch.
Do you know him from Baywatch or from Knight Rider?
No, I know him from Baywatch and also from the SpongeBob movie, the first one.
Oh.
The original.
Did you ever see what he did in he was big, Tom Waits was big in Japan. David Hasselhoff was big in Germany, man.
They love
yeah.
the Hoff.
And there's a
Das
video
Hasselhoff.
there's a video when they're taking down the Berlin Wall, and he's there like way up high singing "Tear Down That Wall." He's got a song all about it, which like lots of
and there's like people crying
lots of
around him.
synthesizers, and he's got like a fur coat or something. He's like, it's just it's absolutely
It was
insane.
so 80s.
That's awesome.
It's must watch TV. But yeah, he and Pee Wee. That's pretty weird, right?
We're
He and the
roommates
P.
in college.
We're roommates in college.
They were
Robin
roommates.
Wright, the wife,
Sure.
in House of Cards and many other things. Is she
Forrest
the one
Gump.
from Forrest Gump? Jenny.
Yeah.
She went to college with Carole King. That's
She's
another
weird
weird.
married to Sean Penn.
I'm sorry, that's not true at all.
Oh.
She. No, sorry, totally lying on that one.
Credibility out the window.
She went to high school with Ice Cube.
Oh.
That makes more sense. Carole King went to college with Paul Simon.
Oh.
I was thinking to
Hey.
myself, like, I feel like Carole King's got to be a lot
makes
older
more
than
sense.
Robin.
Hey.
Wright, but I
Yeah,
wasn't
and she
trying.
is. I'm sorry, Robin. I didn't mean to. No insulting. And then
I mean,
the last one.
Who wouldn't want to be Carole King's
is
roommate, by the way?
Macy Gray went to high school with Marilyn Manson. Isn't it weird to think about like those like incredibly
Did
talented
he really go
people?
to high school, or was he busy filming The Wonder Years?
Marilyn Manson.
You know that, right? That people say that he was Paul Pfeiffer. It's not
Oh.
really true. Everybody knows it's not true, but people used to say that forever.
Yeah, I don't know. He got canceled. He was like a bad guy. I think he got into some trouble with women and such. But
I think it was like a grooming situation.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't.
Well, and there
I
was
don't,
that rib story.
I don't. Okay. I don't know any of that stuff, but I do know that he.
Well, you're the one bringing up Marilyn Manson. So.
I don't know. I know.
so,
I'm not trying to. I just know that he was. When I first learned about him, as the early years were coming, or were going by, the kind of he was known to be a very smart person. Like he was a smart guy. So anyway,
Mason's ready to do something. He's
Speaking
antsy, I can tell.
of Carole King and Paul Simon.
are we doing a?
Oh yeah,
are we
you're gonna compete against the
Okay.
conglomerate that is
It's a segment.
Rolling
Segment.
Stone magazine.
What's this one called?
Is this the same thing
It's
where
the
we're
Rolling
putting
Stone.
the things
It's-
in order
you-
again?
it's-
The albums.
It's the rank war.
Okay.
Yeah. Rolling
I
Stone
have to have a- I
magazine.
need
Is
to
this,
make notes so
top
I can see.
500 greatest albums.
What do we
of all
call it
time.
though? Pontoon trivia?
No,
No,
Oh.
this is new.
This is a new one?
no, this is the same one, the new one that I did last week.
Oh, did we name it?
No, we
It's
did
the
not.
Rolling Stone magazine rank war, man. I don't
It's
know.
got to have a boat theme,
Rank it.
Mason.
I said
Otherwise
we
Skipping
gotta-
it's not-
stones. How many ripples?
What? That has no like
All right, go ahead. We'll come up with a better name.
the ranking game,
That has nothing to do
rhythm
with
ranking, whatever. Like you can name it.
No, you can name it.
Oh, okay.
It's just got to have something to do
Okay,
with a
it's
lake.
All
called
aboard
it's
the
called
Freestyle.
it's called the
Freestyle
slippery
relay.
Rolling Stone rank war.
All right, Mace, what is it?
Skipping Stones.
Let's hear it.
So this is from the 500 greatest albums of all time list.
yes.
These songs are all located between
Songs?
or albums.
Okay.
Pardon. These albums are all located between numbers 50 and 25,
Okay. And we have to put them in order.
and you have to put them in.
I'm
the
Last
ready.
week it was higher than that, right? It was like 51 to 70 or
It
something.
was 50. Yeah, it was
50 to
75 to 51.
Okay.
So this is
So this
50
is the ones
through
that are
25.
that are slightly better than last month's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, obviously they're going to be
or last
better.
week's, and we have to put them into order. So you're going to give us records, and then we put them in order.
Yeah, you put them in
All
order.
those
Okay, I'm
garbage
ready.
You're
albums
trying
gave
to
us last
guess
year.
the Rolling Stone order, but you can also just put them in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
Noah's winning with 3 songs guessed correctly, or
Okay.
3 albums guessed correctly
Okay, let's go.
last week.
What are the albums?
The first album is Blonde on Blonde by Bob Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
The second album is Graceland by Paul Simon.
Paul Simon.
Yeah.
The third
Full Moon
album
Fever.
is OK Computer by Radiohead.
Oh my
Why
God.
don't you just kill us?
What did you think this was going to be? A
I
bunch
don't
of bad
know.
albums?
No, just
but
but
the
those
fourth-
3 are like
Zingers.
The fourth is Tapestry by Carole King.
Fuck.
And the fifth is the White Album by the Beatles.
That is just
What was the statement about how they were ranking the albums? I asked you this last week, and you just said greatest albums. But at the top, they will say, we culminated.
Well, I'll
albums that
permit
we-"
you to look it up.
I don't. This
No.
is your segment, Buster.
It says I read it. It says they came out with the first one in 2012, and it's been subject to a lot of change over the years. So
Yeah.
they come out with a new one every year, and they have a bunch of people vote on it, and it's like 100 people, and they list them all, and then they
So
start the
100
ranking.
people decided on this list.
Something like that. Yeah, it's like a very long list of authors for the list.
Well, I guess.
damn,
that's
dude. This is like Okay, so I'm supposed to guess what order they put them in, correct?
Yeah, if you want to win.
If I want to win, right?
So Noah has 3 points.
Okay.
You get a point for every
Number
song
1,
guessed
Tapestry.
correctly.
Agree.
as in
Carole King.
lowest on the list.
Lowest on the
Furthest
list.
from number
This is
one.
my pick. You guys
Wait,
make
wait,
your
wait,
own.
wait,
But I'm
wait. You're saying the top song, the top album is Tapestry, or the bottom album?
Furthest
I'm going to
from
go
number
in
one,
the order
number
of
one.
best album to worst album.
Okay.
Best album, Tapestry, per Rolling Stone, not me. Second best album, The White Album, per Rolling Stone, not me. Third, OK Computer, per Rolling Stone, not me. Fourth, Blonde on Blonde. Fifth, Graceland. That's my call. Noah.
Best to worst. I think that there's a better Beatles album on this list than the White Album.
Well, I don't
Right.
think that. Yeah, this
So,
is 50 to 75.
Right. But
No,
my
50 to
point-
25.
No,
Whatever.
25 to
whatever.
50.
No, 25 to 50. Okay.
but my point is that I would be
There's
surprised.
3 other albums on
if
the.
I would,
Yeah.
It would be hard for them to justify, I think, with a big team of people putting like 2 or more Beatles records in the top 25. So I think the Beatles record is further down the list. I'd say that OK Computers on top. Blonde on Blonde. And then Graceland, Beatles, and Carol.
Carol last.
I think so.
Okay, I'm ready for mine when you're ready for
Okay.
it, Mace.
Go.
Best is Tapestry,
Okay.
Yep.
then Graceland,
Yep.
then OK Computer,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
then the White Album, and then Blonde on Blonde.
Okay.
Noah got no points this week.
Ooh!
Great.
Mom got 1.
Which one?
Dad got 3.
Oh.
OK Computer is what you got
Depends
as
on
number
how you
3.
score things too, you know. Like,
Number 1, ranked 25 on the list, Tapestry by Carole King. Number 2, ranked 29 on the list, The White Album by the Beatles.
Number 3, OK Computer.
Number 3, ranked 38, Blonde on Blonde.
Oh.
Oh.
Number 4, OK Computer, ranked 42. Number 5,
Graceland.
ranked 46, was Graceland.
Wow.
fun.
It's a fun game trying to like think of how other people that don't think the way that you do would rank a list of 5 records.
Totally agree.
What do you think? Post in the comments.
Share below. Maybe
being
one week we
sarcastic.
should
Like
do
and
it where
share.
you don't give the answer and we give people the opportunity
It'll
to
just be a poll.
submit theirs.
It'll just be a poll. And
Well,
then-
no, because they have the internet, and someone's going to be lame and spoil it.
no.
Well, that's true.
Well, they'd
We
have
could do it
to.
on a
We'd have to
live
do it on the
stream.
honor
I wish
system.
we had the internet. Just kidding.
And then what we could do is like the first person that gets it, if they like DM us with their PO box, we could drop some live from the lake swag their way. That'd be cool. Remember
How do
that.
we have them prove they didn't cheat?
No, they have to
Well,
call
we
in.
couldn't.
said that we had instilled
It'd
the
be,
honor
it'd be
system.
like,
if you say
you know,
honor system,
the
and
honor
then
system.
they don't, then
Hey,
Then
can we
they're
close that door?
dishonorable.
Then they just suck. You never
They
know
just
what's going to
suck.
happen.
Okay, hey, can we do a secret swimmer?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Thank you, Noah.
Segment.
Noah, close the door for
I got a
us.
good one
It's
this
getting
week.
chilly.
Segment.
You've got a good one?
Oh, yeah.
A real
ready, Noah?
stumper?
yeah.
Okay.
Got a real puzzler?
This is the segment.
Architects, is that the topic?
This is the secret
Puzzle
secret
Master
swimmer.
Jen.
It's the
Yeah.
secret swimmer.
This person is an astronaut. No, just kidding.
Neil Armstrong.
JK. Okay, female.
Cindy Lauper.
No.
Whitney Houston.
I think everyone should get.
Hey,
a
let's not
limited
do that.
number of guesses.
Shakira.
I feel like I should be allowed to give more than just the sex as a clue before you start jumping down the list.
Shakira.
If you had guessed it right
J-Lo.
now, I'd have been so bummed.
Rihanna?
Riri.
No.
Beyonce.
Rihanna,
No.
come on.
T-Swizzle.
Nope.
No.
I think if you get it correct,
Taylor
you
Dane.
have to divide your points by how many
No,
guesses it
but
took.
that
Olivia
would've been
Newton-John.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Ooh, she played in Chicago last week.
Okay, so this person, this female, this woman, was raised in Arizona. The city of Tucson built and dedicated their central transit terminal to her paternal grandfather, who was a local pioneer businessman who immigrated from Germany to Mexico and then to Tucson in the 1800s.
Alanis Morissette.
No. He was a wagon maker that made
Lady
6
Gaga.
mule-drawn streetcars for the city in 1903.
Who did this? Her grandpa?
Her grandpa.
That's not going to help us figure out who it is.
So she
though.
moved to...
This is interesting, though.
Oh,
'cause
no,
that's
no,
her-
no.
It's a
this
woman
is her-
from
wait,
Tucson.
So this is her dad's dad, right?
Her dad's dad.
And then if you go to the University of Arizona, in the library, there's a section dedicated to
Him.
her family.
That's awesome.
For their influence on the wagon making, commerce, pharmacies, and music.
That's amazing. Janis Joplin.
No. Her paternal grandfather had
Carole King.
over 700 patents, including the first electric toaster, refrigerator devices, the grease gun, the first electric stove.
Grease guns are important.
I know. An early form of microwave, and he earned millions of dollars for his patent for the flexible rubber ice cube tray.
Dolly Parton.
Nope.
That's what I was going to say, but
She's Texas girl.
yeah.
So Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. What's her name? Stevie Nicks.
No. Okay. She started a band with her siblings at the age of 14.
Oh. Partridge.
No.
Okay.
She left Arizona and for LA at 18. That was in 1964.
She went to. Okay.
Aaron Carpenter.
No.
Oh.
She signed a
drummer.
record deal
Her
with
drumming.
a band that was not her siblings, a band
yeah.
that she's formed in LA when she was 20.
Stabbing traitor.
They made 3 records. They were together from 66 to 68.
Oh, I know who it is. Jefferson Airplane. Grace Slick.
No.
No.
They were together.
The
for a long
Bangles.
time.
She made her first solo record at 23.
Her first solo record at 23. Do we know the record?
I don't have the name of it written down.
And
but
you don't
yes.
know what it is.
I mean, yes.
She's not in our like weekly like playlists.
No, but you know a lot of her songs. She's had 38 top 100 hits.
Tina Turner.
No. So she made her first.
Blondie.
No.
Shit.
Madonna.
Nope. First solo record at 23. Her first backup band.
Shaka Khan.
No.
Fuck.
Included Gilbo. I'm not sure who that is.
Very
John Belland, the Flying Burrito Brothers, and Clarence White from the Byrds.
good. Oh, Laurel Canyon-esque. This is not Janis Joplin. I don't know who the hell this is. So 60s and 70s California bands. I mean, that's what we've got to be thinking. Not the Mamas and the Papas.
No.
Is this Donna?
No.
Donna Gaccio. No.
Share.
Her second
Cher.
backup.
Good
No,
call.
it was not. But that's
I
a
like
good
the
call.
thinking, though. That was a great
That was right
pick.
there.
I-
Okay, so
I-
after the first
couldn't be
backup
prouder to
band,
be
she had a
wrong.
second backup band, which is interesting because that
Celine
backup
Dion.
band was
She's Canadian
Randy
and-
Meisner, Bernie Leadon, Glenn Fry, and Don Henley, who then left and became the Eagles.
Yeah.
So then she started co-producing her own records in
It's
'71.
not Carly Simon.
Nope.
Is it like
She has her own
A
model
country girl.
0042 Martin guitar.
Yeah, I'm
Loretta
thinking
Lynn.
like
Oh, no. It's like
Country.
Joni Mitchell
Nope.
or Marianne Faithfull
Nope.
is it Linda
or
Linda
Linda
Cash?
Ronstadt.
Yes, Linda Ronstadt. She was engaged to George Lucas for 5 years. She also dated Jim Carrey.
Linda Ronstadt.
24 studio albums, 15 greatest hits records, 38 top 100 songs, 21 of them were in the top 40, 10 top 10 hits, 1 number 1. She's been on over 120 other albums with other people, collaborating on other people's albums. She has 11 Grammys, including the Latin Grammy Lifetime
She has
Achievement
11
Grammys,
Grammys.
3 American Music
She's got
Awards,
big
2
numbers.
CMAs, an Emmy, and nominations for a Tony and a Golden Globe.
Oh, she's the one that did the.
And she's got a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame that she shares with Dolly Parton and Emmylou Harris for their band called Trio, which is
Linda
fucking cool.
Ronstadt.
And she's the one that did the duet with Aaron Neville, where he sings like an angel. Don't know, don't know why. That one.
He's got the vibrato going for sure.
Got
Always.
more listens than us.
There is that.
She's also got a version. She's also got she's got her. Don't know much with Aaron Neville's got 87 million hits.
She's got a lot of songs.
Blue Bayou's got 95 million. She also did she's got the, I think you guys would all know and recognize her version of Willin',
Of course.
which I think she did pretty well with. Very good, Jen. Linda Ronstadt.
Super interesting, right?
Yeah.
She's and her two grandfathers, like, crushing it.
And Ronstadt. So Germany to Mexico to
To the Southwest, and he
pretty cool.
married a
Texan.
Mexican woman. So she's got a lot of she says a lot of her musical influence came from Latin and Mexican music.
That's great.
She also said she would never make a record that was outside of the genres that she knew growing up because those she could like feel in her soul, and she didn't feel like she could do another genre outside of those.
She had choices.
Yeah.
she's not going to be rapping.
She grew up
Neil
with a
Young,
pool. I bet you she grew up with a pool, Linda. So you and she have that in common. I think that,
The picture they show of her in Wikipedia is her in a pool in her backyard with a sign that says, "I'm Linda Ronstadt as a child." With
Who
a
was
pool
the
in my
one that
backyard.
I was showing you the pictures of the girl that was growing up with the lion? Do you remember that?
Oh, Melanie Griffith.
Yeah.
Tippi Hedren's daughter.
Yeah, Melanie Griffith grows up with a freaking lion, dude. Like there was
A
pictures.
legit real lion, like
Super
hung out at
rad.
their house.
There was pictures of her, like the lion, like laying in her bed, like it was like
Like Mike Tyson.
like
and
a dog.
Hollywood in the 50s, baby.
like it was a dog. It was nuts.
crazy.
That's sick.
It was nuts. And then there's
Until it-
pictures of
until
her
it
by the pool
fucking
with the
kills your
lion. It's like, dude, you could,
Crazy.
yeah.
You could be
You know
murdered at
Tippi
any
Hedren.
moment.
She's from The Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock movie. Did
I've
you
heard
not
the
ever
name,
see
but
that
I've
movie?
never seen that movie.
Oh, that's a great weird movie.
Yeah.
I only watch what you put in front of my face, Mom.
Hey.
Until I turned 21.
Yeah, right.
And then what?
Don't know.
And then I saw the light. And I watched everything that's ever been on TV all at once, and it was amazing.
Through Neuralink.
Yeah.
He just plugged in.
I did see that
What's your
there was an
favorite movie
update
then?
on the Neuralink dude today or yesterday
What you said.
that he like the first time they like left him alone with Neuralink, he stayed up all night playing video games.
Dude, he was like he was describing the moment that he like figured it out, and he was like, it literally feels like I am like using the Force. Like it's like a little.
That's
kid's
so
dream.
sick.
And I saw it, like I literally he went out and spoke for like 40 minutes. It's their first like public
Conference.
Conference.
Yeah.
And within like the first 5 minutes, I'm like brought to tears with what he's saying, because he's like,
It's changing
within
my life,
10
dude.
minutes, I realized that like this could in a very short turnaround be something where the incident that I had that left me in a state where I was a quadriplegic could be a outpatient procedure where you literally you're in the hospital, they install the chip, and you're walking within an hour. Like,
Oh, have Neuralink
crazy.
be installed that
You know what I
quickly.
mean?
Yeah, I
Is he able to move his body?
no, but that's like.
But that's where it
this
could
is the
go.
first-
That would
this
be
is
incredible.
The very first step in interacting with brain, synapses and neurons.
Right, but you combine that with some of the
interactions within the
superhuman stuff that they've been building, like the
Totally.
backpack that,
Totally.
and then
So-
he can move. Like he can tell the
Backpack.
computer to move his
Arms,
bionic
legs.
arms and legs, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
like you're quadriplegic, but you're able to.
kind of
Maybe.
yes, but
That
there's
would be amazing.
the more like
Much later.
The bigger dream is that you're right now the big sort of leap that has been taken is that we have this piece of equipment that can study and read some level of brain activity and turn that into action that is, through technology. There's no impacting the brain activity from what I understand, but there is that's an end goal, is to be able to, like we've talked about, not erasing memories or anything, but like
No, definitely erasing
Yeah,
it.
that's
all the
not-
bad things that have
No
ever
more
happened.
the
pain.
initial goal is not.
I don't
yes, we
remember
wanna
having
be able
real
to do that.
legs.
It's
I only
solving
remember my
problems
robot
of
legs.
There's simply a communication error within my body, and that yields something that is either mobility issues or seizures or some other kind of impediment that,
Wow.
In theory, if you had the ability to recognize the patterns going on in the brain and then alter, correct, or counteract as necessary, like
Crazy.
it's nuts, man. Yeah.
Totally nuts.
Wild.
So the only problem I have with this is like, that's how Dr. Octopus kind of
He's
happened.
a bit of a
came
scientist
about.
himself.
And like, I mean, everybody's
Yeah, so we should
big
stop
on this.
advancing that technology.
Everybody's
because of
big on
that.
this, like, like the don't remake dinosaurs because of Jurassic Park.
Dude,
But
dude.
but
I want just tiny
if
ones.
we're not
want
gonna make
dinosaurs the
dinosaurs
size of
because
the
of Jurassic Park, then we
animals
should
in the
not
Spy Kids movie.
give them limbs
Little
that
ones.
are controlled by a brain chip, because what if the brain chip corrupts your brain and then turns you evil like Dr. Octopus? And that's all I have to say about that.
And
Okay.
yet, when I
That's
talk
great.
about being scared of jumping into freezing cold water and shitting myself, you look at me like I'm a
Oh,
crazy person.
Why do you have to keep bringing that up?
Mine was a joke.
I want a miniature set of animals that are not the size that they were in Spy
Like-
Kids, but like I want
I
like
was
an
gonna say,
elephant
like
that is
Steve
the size of a
Buscemi's.
dog.
Like,
Oh, so bigger.
if they
than
were,
that.
well, but
Yeah.
okay, but how many could
yeah,
you really
can't
have?
do that. No,
It doesn't
no, no,
matter.
no, no,
Like
no.
I would
Well,
just
but if they
No,
were
no.
smaller, you could have more of them.
Think about those
yeah,
tusks,
but I don't.
though.
Yeah, no. I think it would also be cool to have.
Stabbing holes in your wall. You gotta have steel reinforced plating on the
It would be
bottom.
cool.
An
3 feet
elephant
of
that
your
was
wall.
like this big
No,
could
you
be
just
cool,
put some
like a
foam
football
tips in his
sized
tusks.
elephant.
Yeah, put
Little tips on
pool
there.
noodles on there. Duct tape them on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all good times must come to an end.
Mustn't they?
It's
Now
unfortunate.
come the bad times.
Oh, you don't want to do a
Now
pontoon
come the
trivia?
bad times.
Good times, bad times. Sorry.
Mason, it's time for you to sign off.
You don't want a pontoon trivia?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, you do.
I'm sorry. I thought you swapped it.
Oh no,
No, he's
No.
got both up his sleeve.
I'm multifaceted.
Should have thrown that
I'd
in.
like to keep going, actually.
Yeah, never stop.
That's what
Can't
he
stop,
said.
won't stop, baby.
All right, let's go.
The way that you, really quick, the way that you turned to Mason as if to ask him to sign off, it almost sounded like reality show. Like, Mason, the council has decided. You're the one we're voting you off.
Mason, it's
Mason,
time to sign off.
I'm sorry
Mason,
to tell you.
that
It's
Dr.
time to sign off.
Octopus comment got you booted from the podcast.
You're gone.
Wait, no.
All right, let's
No,
do
please.
it. Let's do the pontoon trivia.
It would just be a one and done. Yes.
I'm not
We
allowed
should
to
all do it.
I can't do it very good. All right, let's go.
Waking up
All right, so the pontoon trivia this week.
Is real
It's about-
animated.
It's about a
Bring-
Nirvana song.
Bring it.
Okay.
It's about what?
A Nirvana song.
Okay, Polly.
Lithium.
Smells
Kurt
like Teen
Cobain
Spirit.
admitted that he was trying to rip off the Pixies with this song. By the way, I chose not to acknowledge any of the things that were spoken just
I'm on
now.
a plane. That one.
That's
I'm on
incorrect.
a plane. No, Come As You Are.
No.
I think it's a later record.
It's-
It's an in utero song.
No. It's
No?
early. No, it's early.
Okay.
The recording that was used was one of the 3 takes that they recorded for this song.
Come As You Are.
I just
No,
said that
Mom
and he
just
said
said
no.
that.
Oh.
I said no.
Okay.
Was this song, was the name of the song based off of a joke because somebody wrote something on Kurt Cobain's
Jesus
wall?
Christ, yeah.
Yeah, it smells like Teen Spirit.
So it smells like Teen Spirit.
What did you just say?
It smells like Teen Spirit.
Teen Spirit.
No,
So-
what was the clue that you said was the name of what?
So
What happened?
He
I have
knows
the whole thing.
all
Okay,
the details.
okay.
and I
So
don't.
what happened was my third clue was he accidentally named this song after a women's deodorant brand because Kathleen Hanna, the vocalist for Bikini Kill, spray painted the phrase "Kurt smells like Teen Spirit" on his wall, saying he smells like women's deodorant.
Yeah.
He had no idea that it was a deodorant brand and thought it was
Thought
a
it
good,
sounded cool.
Anti-establishment
Yeah.
kind of a move.
Yeah.
Smells of the revolution.
Dude, Teen
And,
Spirit was
He
like
turned
the
it into
thing.
something different. Nobody remembers the freaking women's deodorant.
No, it was
Yeah,
like it was
nobody
like
knows
for
that.
girls.
A catchphrase or something, yeah.
Yeah, no,
It was
that's
like
what it
teenage
was. It was-
girl
She was
deodorant.
like, "Oh, you smell like girl."
Right. Like, oh, you smell like flowers
Well,
or baby
that was
powder.
I felt like I got some pontoon out of that trivia.
I can't wait for the pontoon to be back.
Blub, 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 blub.
Pretty soon, I hope. Thanks for diving in. We
It's the
appreciate
world's
you being
greatest
here with us.
podcast.
The world's greatest podcast with these bunch of badasses. Mason.
Biggest bunch of beauties in the league.
Mason. You just reminded me of the Hawks game we went to. We went in Sub Bedard. Go see the Hawks.
Oh gosh, he's so spectacular.
He's so good. All right, time for you to sign off.
And you know who else is spectacular? Is all of you, our audience, listeners and viewers alike. While you're here, like the video or the episode, subscribe, follow us on Spotify. Much love. See you next week.
Have a good one. I hope that I see you soon, and I hope that you have enjoyed our fruitful conversation. We've traveled from musical themes to miniature elephants to any number of topics. And
Mini
I hope you were
alligators.
able to keep up. I love you very much, and I hope that you stick around for more. And if you've subscribed, I love you even more.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been fun, as always. It's cool to learn new things that, we didn't know before. And hopefully you learned something new, too. Check out Shel Silverstein and the new Chet Atkins
No, it's not new.
uncomfortability.
It's
Not
not new.
new.
That is so bad.
And check out Shel
Tunes,
Silverstein.
yeah. Thank you for being here with us. We really appreciate it. We're doing this to spend some time together, to learn new things, and to share with you. And thank you for being with us. When you think of us.
And when you love of us.
And dream
And
a
when you
little dream
subscribe,
for me.
Subscribe to us.
When you have a drink to us. 'Cause
And drink
why
Dos
wouldn't you?
Equis.
We're having a drink to you. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Live from the lake.
The best place in the world.
Do you hear what I hear?
Bye.
And we're clear.